All right, come 200 week 3 video. This week we're talking about mobile media and mobile phones. So I gave ChatGPT this prompt of how has the life of an American teenager changed since the emergence of mobile smartphones. Now I didn't give it like a specific time period or anything. So let's see what it has to say. They've had a significant impact on the lives of American teenagers in various ways. Here are some notable changes. All right, firstly, he's talking about connectivity and communications. It's revolutionized the way teenagers connect and communicate with others. Yes, obviously. I mean, with texting and now, I think kids use like Snapchat even more than they do, texting. And then the slide you showed on the lecture of the snap maps, like that's something pretty new, like in the last maybe 5 years ago that came out, or maybe a little more. But I know like when I first started using Snapchat, that was not a thing. It was just simply to send pictures back and forth to each other. Now that's really changed how kids are like sharing their locations, and you can see where your friends are, which is really strange. Like, I can't imagine growing up and being a middle schooler now and that pressure of, everything that's going on that is just really hard at that age. And on top of that, all your friends are, monitoring where you are. Like, if you're not at a certain party or whatever, everyone's going to know that you're not because you're not on the snap maps. So that's a big change. It's going to be interesting to see like how kids adjust to that. Access to information. This is obviously a huge one. I mean, our smartphones, any iPhone, even iPhones from 10 years ago, having access to an insane amount of information, more than anything we've seen in human history. We basically have the biggest library in the world in our pockets at all times. So that's pretty cool. Whether, teenagers are actually using their phones for, something useful like accessing information is up for debate. But smartphones definitely provide instant access to a vast amount of information. So this kind of go hand in hand with this fifth point, academic impact. Um, how like teenagers just have access to so much information. Like even today, or like for me, almost every day I'm probably looking something up. Like if I don't know something, I'm like, oh, what is that word? I just Google it. Or something comes up, what is that? I just Google it. And it's so easy. And I feel like that is a good impact. I mean, I can't think of any negative impacts that it's had on my life, really. I mean, I'm just absorbing more information than previously possible. So that's a good thing. But the negative impact, especially with academic, would be like, smartphones being a distraction. So are smartphones like themselves inherently a distraction? No, not really. You just kind of have to have some, um, can't think of the word. Anyways, you have to have some boundaries of, when you can use your phone. If you're doing homework, put your phone down, put it away, put it in another room. That way it's not a distraction, but it can also be a very, very good tool. Social media influence, I kind of talked about that with the snap maps, but to go even further, like Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, on Facebook, people are sharing their lives. So, teenagers nowadays are way more connected than ever before. I mean, you know what your friend's doing, even like, I mean, before technology, you would know like what your best friends are doing. You guys talk and stuff. But now there's people you may not even have had a conversation to with like in real life, but basically everything about them because you follow them on Instagram, you have them on Snapchat, you see their snap maps, you see what they're doing, which is really weird because you're not even really friends with them in real life. And then want to highlight here, this is kind of a big issue that has been talked about a lot. The influence of social media can also bring challenges such as concerns about body image, cyberbullying, and the pressure to maintain an idolized online presence. Like, obviously, this is a big issue. Kids are kind of just being fed this kind of ideal, life. They see their favorite influencers doing all these things, looking pretty, whatever, looking fit. They got a six pack going on, and it can't be good for, teenagers growing up because that's not really what they need to have in mind. Um, there are just bigger, better things in the world than your favorite influencer doing whatever, and then you trying to copy that or compare yourself to them or just compare yourself to other, your peers and stuff. It's a really dangerous thing. Entertainment and media consumption. Smartphones offer a multitude of entertainment options. Yes, and like I think it talked about in Leslie's article how like this dates back to the 60s, sitting in front of a radio or TV, or like he said when his parents went into the pub and he was in the back of the car listening to the radio. Like this has always been where it kind of started this technology as entertainment focused, and it has evolved into much more, but it's still like kind of the root of it is for our entertainment. So teenagers can stream videos, listen to music, play games. Yes. Obviously like Spotify and Apple Music made it super easy for teenagers to listen to whatever music they want. I mean, they don't need to go to a record store anymore or illegally download music online anymore. It's just like you have it. Every song you could ever think of, ever want to listen to, you got it. Any TV show, you can stream it online or you can legally stream it through Netflix or whatever if you want. But it's all there. Everything's there. Digital dependence and screen time. This is definitely a hot topic for, parents and parental guidance, how much screen time is, okay for your kids. Concerns about excessive screen time and digital dependence among teenagers. Yes, for the most part, I think that managing screen time is a good thing. Um, Maybe sometimes parents are kind of overcritical of what their kids are doing, what their teenagers are doing on their screens. For the most part, it's probably nothing bad. They're just being social, talking to their friends. But yeah, it could be a problem if you're, teenagers spending 10 hours a day on their phone or whatnot, then the screen time can have, a serious impact in their lives, even like on your eyes. I mean, it's bad for your eyes. And then, of course, you have safety and privacy concerns. With increased connectivity, teenagers face potential related to online safety, privacy, and cyberbullying. Again, it's crucial for parents and guardians to educate teenagers about responsible digital behavior, and implement safeguards to protect their privacy and security. Yes, and then kind of want to use this to mention something that ChatGPT did not bring up, which is like how parents kind of safeguarding their children, putting these boundaries on them could be harmful for their relationship and, the trust between a kid, a teenager, and their parents. Constant monitoring can just have negative effects. It can break down, the trust between a teenager and a parent. So this is a fine line that, you don't want to overdo. Um, Overall, the emergence of smartphones has transformed the way American teenagers communicate, access information, consume media, and navigate daily life. While smartphones offer numerous benefits, it's essential to navigate their usage responsibly and strike a healthy balance between digital world and offline experiences. So yes, this is for the most part all true. Um, the average American teenager, their life is a lot different than it was 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. They just have more influence. They're way more connected, to each other, to their peers, and that has both its negative and positive effects. They have access to as much information as they want, but also what comes to that, I feel like teenagers nowadays are more culturally aware. Like, take TikTok, for example. You get a lot of videos from people from other countries, like travel videos and stuff, where people just are or culturally different, and you kind of like I feel like teenagers are getting a more broader worldview because of these changes in, mobile phones, mobile media. They have access to more information, obviously, and can kind of better understand how the world, works. It's not just this is my life. I bet everyone lives like this. I feel like teenagers have a better understanding that not everyone lives the way we do here in America, and yeah, just life is a lot different in other places. So that is a positive side of smartphones. All right, and that's it.